Right, so this video might be a bit complex, but I'll try to talk it slowly and logically, so in the end you should be seeing something interesting. So now, first of all, based on the fact that last year, or the current year according to the Hebrew calendar, is the year 5950, so the last Jubilee, and the last year was also, the year before was a pregnant year, so it had Adar 2. Now I'm trying to prove that first. So based on the Hebrew months, the last month of Dagim, so the Pisces, that's the 12th month. Well, when you have a leap month, you also have Adar 2, and all the positions, starting and ending dates of the months move on one step. So one fact that is interesting is that the Israelites, the Hebrews themselves, didn't pay attention to this last year. But let me show you something. So now, looking purely at the position of the sun, moon, and the constellations, which cannot be corrupted, which cannot be misunderstood, and so on, the month of Shor, that's Taurus here, that should be the second month, that started May 15. Now usually it starts April, around the half point of April, and ends in May. So this would prove that the previous year was a pregnant year indeed, and this ongoing year, the last Jubilee year, is actually having a kind of misalignment with the normal months of the Hebrew calendar. Due to that, there were no corrections because the Hebrews that managed the calendar didn't do them. So now then we lived through the year, and now we are in the month of Kislev, so the 9th month, which usually starts mid-November and ends mid-December. And like in my previous video, this actually now started only in the mid-December and now ends in mid-January. And then we go into the month of the Capricorn, the Gedi, the month of cutting off. Let's see if there's going to be a prophetic meaning to that, but right now we kind of are living in this time of divide. On that note, I have to say that thank you for all the positive comments to the previous video. There were 0 negative comments, so I hope finally the divide is actually nearing conclusion. That would be prophetic also. But now when I talk like this, maybe the algorithm will, divert more negative traffic to these videos. We'll see. Anyways, then in my previous video I talked about the 17th of January Gregorian date, so that's going to be in 3 days. That's when the moon is right in the middle of the core 4 stars of Sagittarius, the ship of Sagittarius. So if we take that as when the disciples went to the boat, when Jesus was still in the mountain, and then they went to the stormy sea and they were about to be sank, they had a problem, even though they were experienced fishermen. Then they saw Jesus walking on the water. And now, when did Jesus walk on water? That's the 4th night watch. That's the time on which the everyone is the most vulnerable, as the disciples were. They were thinking they would be sinking to the sea. Jesus walked on the water. He was about to walk past the boat, but then the disciples, called him, and he immediately came to the boat, and when he stepped on the boat, the storm subsided. Isn't that amazing? The watchman and watchwoman community, we need to be watching, so when we see him, we can call out to him, so he doesn't miss us on the boat. But yeah, the connect then to this 4th hour. Let me open the trusted Excel. Now it's a bit busy, so let me go through all the lines in here, and then I'll continue in the next video, so it's still somehow manageable. So usually the year begins in March in the Hebrew calendar. Let me show you. So the first month of Abib starts in March. Alright, so we start in March if we would have not had the pregnant month, and then we would end in March this year. So it's 365 days. Alright, and there's 24 hours in a day, and then the night watch was the last 3 hours between 3 o'clock in the night to 6 o'clock in the morning. So those 3 hours is actually 12.5%, the last 12.5%. So if we check how many days is that, 12.5% out of 365, we come to 45 days, and 45.5 days. So then if we take that, subtract that from when the Hebrew year would normally end, we get to 28th of January. So that would be the beginning of the 4th night watch, the last 3 hours of the day, same percentage taken out. So this would be the beginning of the last watch of the night. And now in my previous video I had this date of the 17th of January as the day on which we kind of enter the boat. That's actually then about 11 days. We start from evening to evening, and depending on where you're in the world, you can always deduct one or add one, so 10 to 12 days. Is this the 10 days of testing after we embark with the ship of Sagittarius? Could be. Thank you.